I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out.
Oh, yeah. We're doing some dumb shit today. And welcome to Chaos Theories. This is the show where we take irrelevant dumb shit and try to pretend that it's real and hopefully be subjective about it. Always we have our host, Mr. Chaos Math.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. That was my impression of the dubstep room on Plaza, by the way.
That's actually one of my favorite maps on the game.
Dude, I fucking love that map.
That's my shotgun map, dude. My shotgun map.
Some people have a real problem with it, but I just like it. I think it's got character. It's like
it's what a map should be. It should be memorable.
Well, yeah, because it's got its own vibe. It's got its own thing going on. It's got
call-outs on the buildings.
Right. I'm going to compare it to Firing Range, not because it's similar in structure, but it's memorable and it's unique in the same way that Firing Range was, where it's like fun to play. Once you know it, it's...
Reminds me of a Halo map because it's symmetrical.
Yeah. I fucking love that map. And the colors are really cool too. Like, I did a theater mode video on that one just because I love the look of that map. It has like the neon thing going forward. It's nighttime. It's all sorts of cool colors in it. It's very colorful, which is something that normally in a Treyarch game you don't get any of that. Really colorful map. Awesome. But anyway.
We're going to be Knights of Cydonia today.
That's right. We're getting down with Mars. We're going to talk about life on Mars.
The war planet.
The planet of the god of war.
Yes. All right. Let's go ahead and go down with the basics of Mars. Mars is actually on the very edge of the Goldilocks zone. What is the Goldilocks zone? The Goldilocks zone is basically a zone that our scientists have decreed that a planet would need to be in just close or far enough away from the sun to sustain life, which Mars and Venus are both in that little zone. Venus is a fucking smoldering hell. Mars is a rusty dust planet. Earth is, the sexy lady in between all of this.
Whoa, sexy lady.
Well, back in the day, what do you think? How long ago was this? 1970? 75, 76?
When? What?
When they actually took the face of Mars picture.
The Cydonia?
Yeah, in the Cydonia.
Yeah, that right, the face. Yeah, it was like 76 or something like that.
It was Viking, right? Viking 1 took it.
Viking 1.
And basically, Viking 1 flew over Mars and started taking pictures, and it sent it back to NASA. And as they were going through these pictures, a picture came up. It was just low resolution. Keep in mind, Viking 1 in the 1970s, they didn't have HD cameras back then. So it took a low resolution picture, and on the picture itself, it looks like there's a face in a pyramid of a culture that would live on Mars.
Right.
This was basically come with the image. It had the 50s alien movies with the Martians and this and that. Has there also been like water found on Mars, like water trenches?
Yeah, no, there's water. There's evidence of water, and there's still ice in the poles. So it's not like there's no water on Mars. There is water and ice on Mars now. I mean, obviously now Mars is fucked up now. It's pretty much lost its atmosphere. The magnetosphere is gone, so the solar wind is just beating the shit out of Mars. It's really fucked up. But yeah, there is water on Mars. So that part of it has been completely confirmed.
The solar wind hit Mars? I didn't think solar winds happened until after the planets. Like in the dark matter.
The solar wind is basically just the radiation that's thrown off from the sun. Okay?
Yeah.
So, and every atmosphere has what's called a magnetosphere, which is basically a barrier for radiation, like the Earth has one. Mm-hmm. And that's what keeps us from being cooked by the solar wind. That's why when you get past... Remember we talked about the moon? And we talked about the Van Allen belts?
Right.
Remember that? Okay, so that's part of the magnetosphere. The Van Allen belts, when you leave them, then you're exposed to the solar wind. Now you're just out there in space, and the radiation, the X-rays and stuff from the sun, there's no magnetic field that's bouncing that away. So at some point, Mars lost its atmosphere, its magnetosphere, which means it just started to get cooked by the solar wind. So there's really nothing left of its atmosphere, which is the big problem. But as far as preserving the signs of life that would actually help. Because like think of the like the pyramids in Egypt. Okay, and when we go back to our first chaos theory, we talked about Giza and how much it's been eroded, right? In just a few few thousand years. Well, that's because of weather. And when you don't have an atmosphere, you have a lot less weather, so you're going to have a lot less erosion. That's why, like the moon, you can see so much stuff on the moon because there's no weather and erosion and wind and sand eating stuff away.
Doesn't Mars actually have severe like sandstorms on it though?
It's dusty, but it's not like it doesn't have weather like we do here. Where
I didn't say it had clouds and shit and rain. Like every time I've always pictured Mars, I pictured it as like almost like a desert type planet.
Yeah,
that's red and it has dust blowing everywhere.
It does have dust blowing everywhere, but I don't think it has the kind of erosive power that like like we have here with rain and water. I mean, most of what erodes stuff is water. Mm-hmm. That is far more eroding than wind and sand with stuff like sandblasting and stuff like that, especially if it's already made of dirt. You know what I mean? But it's just over there, like it would preserve better because there's less corrosive elements to break down, structures and stuff like that. But Cydonia is weird because, like you talked to, originally they took it in the 70s and they didn't have the resolution. Well, the resolution later shows it to not look like a face, and a lot of it has to do with the light. But even if I take Cydonia out of it and the pyramids and all that, like I don't think it disproves the possibility that there was life on Mars. I still think
there's the Martian trenches still too.
Yeah, there's the trenches, but I don't know. For me, it isn't so much based off of right, because the trenches prove that it used to be running water and stuff like that at one point on
and
Mars.
There's also theories that Martians actually live in the trenches on Mars.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's really that they live in the trench, like underground.
Yes,
they're like hanging out. Why do they think that?
That's because that's where the running water would still be, and maybe you could create an atmosphere there to actually protect you from it, just on the edge of the trench, kind of like Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander always had the fortresses that were like underground in Antarctica or some shit, and he'd like raise it, the snake would come up. Mm-hmm. Martians do that shit too. Do you know?
All right, so I think that I don't really buy into the ancient structures being still around, but for me, like, I still think that there's a very real possibility that there once was life on Mars, or at least I like to think that there used to be life on Mars, and possibly that's where the origin of life on Earth might have come from. But just the fact that there used to be an atmosphere, there used to be running water, and it's in the Goldilocks zone. Some shit could have happened to change things that we don't know about, but I still think that there very well could have been some sort of life, and maybe even intelligent life on Mars, because that's sort of the distinction you also need to make. Like, well, maybe there was some, bacteria and very, very low level organisms on Mars, but that's not to say that there was like, intelligent, bipedal, life beings, or, running around or making spaceships or anything like that. It could have just been bacteria.
Here's the thing though. All right. You just said that there's no weather to erode things. If there were actually living, breathing people on Mars, mm-hmm. wouldn't there still be evidence of like their buildings? Like, we have skyscrapers and all this thing. If they got to the point where they actually were able to reach Earth, because we're not at the point where we can reach Mars yet. We could probably do it, but to go to Mars and land on it would be so dangerous, and just pretty much have to sacrifice somebody's life. Yeah. If Mars were in the opposite way, they had to send somebody to Earth to populate it.
Yep.
What?
Right. Why wouldn't there be?
Where's these huge cities they would have to have?
Well, I think that, part of the big theory behind there having been intelligent life on Mars is that that intelligent life destroyed the planet. There was some sort
everything on it. Like, even if we
like a complete like a complete surface just holocaust of their entire planet. They basically just, like, they were the reason why the atmosphere is gone. Like, they destroyed their planet with a war or something happened. Back in the 50s, they talked about, there was an atomic war on Mars. But obviously, something far, far worse would have had to happen to make Mars look like it does today. But that's the theory behind it, is there was some sort of like, large scale cataclysm, fabricated by the beings of Mars, the Martians, and they destroyed their planet and they had to move underground. And that's why, because if you were going to say that they were smart enough to, be here or live and build structures, then why would there only be evidence of these two things out of the whole planet when all the land around these structures is just as eroded as everything else? You know what I mean? So why would there just randomly just be a face and then a pyramid left out of this entire planet of civilization? It just doesn't really add up. So I think Cydonia doesn't add up, but I don't think that it discounts the possibility of life there.
Let me go ahead and discount some more possibility of life. If this is taking into account that Mars populated Earth, all right? If Mars populated Earth, it obviously would look something like us. Be it they're in the same Goldilocks zone, the same areas as possible. Same elements, same structure of elements built them. All right. I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it, I hate when I do this. Disproving humans. Oh, humans have a natural tendency to kind of show off, showboat and things. Like Mount Rushmore, the tikis of Easter Island, the pyramids, the hieroglyphics. Why isn't there some of the rocks in like Cydonia and areas outlining Cydonia that has some kind of carvings or markings or anything on them?
Well, that's just
that would survive a nuclear holocaust. That right there would. Exactly.
Why would this pyramid and the face survive and nothing else and everything else around it would be destroyed? It just doesn't.
I think that proves that human life never existed on Mars.
No, I don't. I'm
talking about humans like me or you.
Humans?
Yes. Because if you like, we were saying that if people existed on Mars, populated Earth, like terraformed it. They would have to have traits just like us.
Sure, unless they, I don't know. The way I sort of romanticize it is, they destroyed their planet. They basically realized we ruined our whole planet. We ruined our whole species. We destroyed our own civilization, and they, took part of their DNA, and they were able to at that point be so advanced that they isolated the parts of their genetic makeup that made them so go down that path, and so they tried to get rid of it, but they couldn't get rid of it, and that's why we're traveling down the very same path that these theoretical Martians would have been to destroying their planet, which is exactly what we're heading towards as far as our own ability to live on it. We talked about the fact we don't
Here's an idea.
Ability to destroy.
It's not a well thought out idea.
What is it?
Maybe there is buildings on Mars.
Oh,
but the dust has covered them up.
Well, yeah, it's destroyed, or that's not to say that there's not gigantic cities under the surface of Mars. Like, we haven't looked under it. So even if life survived after this Holocaust and they did see the Earth, if they persisted, they could have persisted underground for millions of years for all we know.
Like the Matrix.
Like the Matrix. Maybe they're under there sleeping and they're having their own Matrix going on. But you know what I mean? Like, all it does, like, Cydonia only discredits those structures as evidence of life there, but I don't think that it discredits the possibility of life there at all. There could have been. I mean, it's all theoretical, and again, we have to tell you that we're guys on Call of Duty channel, then we're talking about cool shit. We're not basing this off of scientific evidence. But
I have a metal background. Eric has a music.
That's right. I'm a musician and he's a metallurgist. So and we like to shoot people on Call of Duty and stuff. So yeah, we don't have any scientific basis for our theories. We're just having fun with you guys. But I think that I like to think that there used to be something on Mars and they destroyed it, and
we should probably talk about Titan since we're talking about life on other planets.
Yeah, Titan.
By theory, the one you wanted to shoot all the holes in.
That's right, yeah. Just go ahead, bring it up again so I can shoot them again. I like shooting holes in your theories.
Go and salt all in my game.
I'm like the stealth chopper on your theories. I'm like pooping all over your theories, dude.
Well, I've always had a theory that Titan, which is one of the moons of Saturn, and Titan is basically a big ball of ice. And I've always theorized that under the layer of ice was a ocean, like a secret ocean, that would allow fish and other aquatic life to live off of. And in my head, the core of the planet was molten, and which was enough to keep the water hot enough to allow fish to live off of. That would be cool in my book.
That would be cool. That would have been cool. But then I pooped on it.
And you and Wikipedia pooped on it.
That's still poop, isn't it? I said, well, let's find out about Titan's core, but it turns out it's ice. But what
How do we know it's ice? How do we know it's ice? Have we tested?
We can figure that all out now. I mean, through the photography and spectrum photography and everything, they can look at a planet and tell what elements it's made of now. It's crazy. Like, they know that its core is made of ice. It's weird.
How we got motherfuckers on our planet that think our Earth is hollow still?
You know why, and we can't do that video.
Wink, 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 wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. But what I ended up saying, though, was that Titan could be a landing zone for, travel out of the solar system, or a place for us to go after we make Earth inhabitable for us, if we had the technology to move. Not, like we talked about, like light speed travel. Like, no, we don't need that. We just need to be able to get to Saturn, which we could totally do. And we have all this giant water supply on Titan, and we have all the other moons of Saturn that could provide other minerals and resources like that. We could theoretically move to Titan and have all this water and just, build a bunch of nuclear reactors to create, heat and keep us warm.
All we could do is fuck at that point.
Just fuck. And
we were saying, like, if Earth got to the point where we had to abandon planet, wouldn't dirt be one of the biggest commodities in space at that point?
Yeah, we need carbon, and we got the water, but yeah, we're gonna need to grow, or we're going to need to make organic compounds and grow things, and we're gonna need dirt to do that. Yeah, all sorts of shit. But I'm pretty sure we could scrounge it all up just based off of all of Saturn's moons. I'm sure there's enough elements to. At that point, we're gonna be able to fuse together and make atoms of whatever we probably need to, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the theory.
That's the theory of Cydonia, the face of Mars.
So there could be motherfuckers under there right now.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Big steaming piles of bullshit.
No, there's Martians under there, I tell you.
Did you see the forums when NASA released the high resolution photos?
Of what?
Of the face of Mars. Like, it took 20 or 30 years before they actually released a high resolution photo of it.
Yeah, it looks
and it's like it destroyed people's dreams. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, there's no fucking face right there, dude. There's no face at all. And the pyramid, it just looks like, when I look at the pyramid, it just looks like lava flows. It doesn't look like a pyramid. What kind of shitty ass pyramid is that?
Hold up. I found something here.
What?
Let me send you this link. We're getting shit breaking down while we're doing the video. This right here clearly states there is a subsurface global ocean.
Whoa, wait, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right to the evidence. What do we have here? The layers of Titan. Global surface ocean. Hydrosilicate core. Organic rich atmosphere and surface. So what is this trying to tell me?
There is running water on Titan.
There's running water on Titan.
Under the ice.
Global subsurface ocean. Okay. So you're saying what? That there could be life there?
Yes.
Like Titanic fishies?
Yeah, like Titanic fishies that live in 179 below zero Celsius.
Yo, man, you gotta try these shrimp, man. They from Titan. They delicious.
Freeze your fucking stomach to the core. You better put them on the fucking oven. But that would be cool as shit, dude, if there's like just fishies swimming around under all that ice and oblivious to everything else.
Man, them fish are just cold. Ice cold.
But wouldn't that be cool? Like there was there's just a whole atmosphere on Titan that we don't even know about.
Well,
and they don't know.
Yeah, and it might not even be fish. It might just be some crazy looking life form.
It could be bacteria.
It could be.
But water is what we call nature's milk, and like when you have water, usually life goes right hand in hand with it. Because most of Earth was created from bacteria and water.
All life was.
Yes.
Yeah, at one point it was just this toxic boiling soup, and next thing you know, you have bacteria. But so yeah, there theoretically could be totally some crazy ass shrimp swimming around in Titan's subsurface ocean that we could go and. Well, I mean, we're gonna run out of fish here, so yeah, we might want to start looking at some sushi from Titan. That would be some expensive shit. Like fuck the blowfish, dude. Give me some of that Titan sashimi.
You have the fucking sea shepherd out there surfing in the Titan Ocean.
Pass the wasabi, bitch.
No, you ever seen the Sea Shepherd? The Whale War show?
No, I haven't.
Dude, there's a show called Whale Wars, and it's basically these guys from America. They have this boat called the Sea Shepherd. And they go out to the Antarctic Ocean to try to stop the Japanese whalers from killing whales and taking them back to market.
Oh, okay.
And they are the most dumb motherfuckers I've ever seen. They have no way the right to have a vessel of that out in the Arctic Ocean. Because the first season, they put a boat in the water with like 6 people in it. And before they get it detached from the ship, it turns over, capsizes. In Antarctic waters.
Yikes.
They take a helicopter and a blade is chipped on it. Like bling, a piece of the blade's fucked up, and they still let the guy go off with it.
No. So what happened?
Nothing ended up happening, but that's dangerous.
Oh shit. Nothing happened. Okay.
Nothing happened with the helicopter, but that's dangerous. You know that?
Yeah, that's very dangerous.
Helicopters are perfectly balanced on their blades, and they have to be to create the perfect, down, what we're looking for. The create lift.
Right.
But Face of Cydonia, bullshit. There could be little fishies on Titan, and I'm betting there's fishies on Titan.
Yeah. Okay, so you're betting there's fish on Titan and there's nobody on Mars.
Right.
Okay. All right. I guess that's fair.